Good afternoon, fifth graders. I'm going to give you a challenge, something fun that you're going to be pretty much making up your own subject matter. You're going to need 2 sheets of paper, one half the size of the other. So you can see I've got 12 by 16 and I've got an 9 by 12. So pretty much half the size of the piece of paper. Because what you do in the paper cutting, you're going to be reverse doing a negative space with what you cut out. So you're going to have to choose something that's simple enough that it makes a shadow or a silhouette of it. So down here, when I did the rocket ship, you can see what you can do afterwards. You can have fun doing some extra drawing with something. I did, on this sheet, 2 figures. Okay, so I'm going to show you first before I do my fresh sample. So what I did is I took and I cut out 2 people. Again, you can draw these out ahead of time. I'm going to put down my paper in the center. I always have to make sure. Now I'm putting my little ballerina on one side, and I'm going to put my cowboy on the other side. I picked a cowboy because I wanted the hat and the boots. So when you do this sort of drawing, you can see how, if that was glued down, positive, negative space. I'm using just the outside, so I have to come up with a shape that is just going to show for right now for the reverse drawing effect, that I'm just flipping over from the inside, so when I cut out, it's on the inside. And I'm doing my drawing a half of a thing, We did this way back in 3rd grade with the pumpkins. Remember, you had a lot of fun doing the pumpkins in 3rd grade. This is the same type of lesson, only this is a little more complex. You can also have fun with this, showing art in a different way of 3 dimension. So it's flat, it's showing a silhouette. Look what happens if I wanted to present this as a box. So I cut on this one, I had my center, I could actually trim this, present this standing up with a framed box around half of it, and put it against a mantle or something, and have it viewed like this. So again, art can come in all forms. It just doesn't have to be flat. With this kind, you can actually be doing a presentation of something. So this might work in a project where you were doing a diorama. You could create your background with this kind of format and have something like that to present it. So on this new one, I'm going to, you can see I drew, and I'm always going to go sideways on this size paper. If I went this way, I wouldn't have a contrast paper behind it. So this one I'm not going to glue down because I'm going to show you the process. So here, I drew this direction on this one. That's so that I know the flower is going to take up more space, and my sun will fill in the separate part. Hopefully I'll make it. So when I take it, I've got a drawing, and I can come back and cut that out. If you like, you don't even have to draw something. If you can visualize it, you can do this without even drawing after you get practice on doing it. Great cutting skills. We're gonna keep practicing those. The fun part about this too is that adding details after you get them down is also a lot of fun to do. Remember, I'm not cutting any pieces off. I have to keep everything connected. This is not one where we snip away and don't worry about the back. We need the back of this paper as much as we need the front piece that I'm cutting out. So I'm going to make sure that it's like it's shadow. So I'm literally keeping that. If you notice how I'm turning my paper around in paper cutting, this is the easiest way. You can start doing this and you find your skills go up in cutting, is by my scissors are kind of staying in the same place. My paper is moving. So when I'm cutting, I am getting a little tighter here, but I'm moving my paper, coming back. Okay, so now I can come back around. So I'm keeping my paper intact. So when you draw something, be sure you don't get it too complex that you're not going to be able to cut it out. So now I have my flower up here. So I've got my silhouette here. I'm going to cut out, maybe I'll start with the outside. I'm going to end up putting the ink side down, so when I lay it out, you won't see any lines. Any lines I add will be just for fun. So I'm, again, sometimes I have to move my hand on the other side of the paper to get there, but it works. Okay, so now I have, I'll lay this out this way. You can see, this is going to be fun. I can take this, line it up where I want it. And then this one, right now, if I kept it intact, I would just have this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little more complicated so I can move the pieces around. So I'm going to put this part here. I have my imaginary line right here. And cut out this other strip. And my sun rays. So you can start to see how I'm going to give it a little more room. So now before I glue, I'm going to move this up a little bit. And then I'm going to put this one down, maybe here. So I can decide which way I want it to go. Maybe I want this one here. So if I was doing it, pretend like this is my line. Put this one on this side. And then put this one out here. You can see how fun these are to play with. And then down here, okay, here's where you make up your mind. If you look at my leaves, do you see what I've just done here? I've reversed this leaf over here and this leaf over here. That's going to be my choice on deciding which way do I want it to make it like a shadow, or do I want to kind of do a little play with your eye and do it the opposite. I think I would do it the opposite and have fun doing that with this composition. So again, then you very carefully are going to glue everything down. And you start with the center piece, because this is the piece that you're literally matching up to the edges. Once you get it where you have enough room, I'm going to slide down a little bit here, then you can use your glue and glue down your center sheet first. Again, lots of glue. Come right up to your edges. Again, just lay out. Pat down. You need to come back and, like, didn't get any glue there yet. Come back and make sure you get your little pieces down. And then whatever you're going to be making out of this. This is wide open. Again, just don't get it so complicated you can't cut it. I'm going to lay that right on the edge there. And then over here. So you're going to have, again, you're going to make your own challenges on this, how complex you get it. And once you do one, each time you do another one, you can get more creative with different subject matter, different ways of doing it, and just have fun while you're doing it. That's the important thing. Adding on to this one again, it's fun to, if you want to add line drawing with them, you can. You can just see how I'm just making the positive negative space happen here. If I want to come back and add anything else in here, I could come back and add center to my flower where I want more detail. I wouldn't do it on both parts. It's more fun to keep the abstract part going, but I could actually add line drawing if I want any part in here with my petals. So I can come back and add whatever I want in a line drawing part of it. That just adds to what you might want to see in your flower, or your things like I did on the rocket ship. And again, the same thing here. Maybe I'll add some of the leaf shape, the way the veins on a leaf would go. Okay, so as you do that, again, have fun with what you might want to do with it. Here I did it very simply with my rocket ship, and again, it's up to you to think about ways that you can take this project further than I've done. Have fun.